The first signal came from the fringe world of Orisinine, a planet so distant it was little more than a listening post perched on the edge of the void. The transmission lasted exactly 6 seconds. Unregistered contact, massive energy spiked by the stars. It's moving, then silence. When the Imperial response fleet arrived 3 days later, they found nothing. Not debris, not wreckage, just a single crater in the desert, glassed smooth by unimaginable heat. At the crater's heart, burned into the sand, was a symbol the Empire had not seen for 400 years, an insignia of a blue circle encircled by 12 stars, the symbol of Earth. Admiral Taran Voss of the Imperial Grand Navy stood on the bridge of the Eidolon, the Empire's greatest battleship, staring at the holographic projection before him. A single object hung in the void between sectors, moving at a velocity that shouldn't have been possible for any known engine. Its heat signature was faint, its power output off the charts. Still no identification. Taran asked. His second commander role shook his head. No Imperial coalition or hegemony designs match. It's using an unknown warp geometry, no wake, no ripple. It's like it's cheating physics. Taran frowned. What's its heading? Straight for the Imperial core. The Admiral said nothing. For a long time, he only stared at the ghostly projection. Then he whispered the word that was spreading like wildfire through the Empire's encrypted channels. Terran. The word felt like a curse. 4 centuries ago, the Terran Confederation had waged war against the rising galactic empire. Humanity, fierce and defiant, refused to submit. For 10 long years, the war consumed worlds. The humans fought like madmen with obsolete ships, suicidal tactics, and weapons that shouldn't have worked but somehow did. When the Empire finally bombarded Earth to ash, they believed the humans broken forever. They were wrong. By the time the object entered the Verith system, half the Imperial Navy was mobilized. 170 ships took formation, stretching across the stars like a silver wall. Admiral Taran stood before the viewport, his fleet glittering in perfect symmetry. Send a hail, he said. A signal pulsed through the void, strong, clear. No response. Amplify transmission, Taran ordered. Unknown vessel, identify yourself. You are entering restricted Imperial space. Shut down engines and prepare for boarding. Still nothing. Then one flicker. The alien vessel's hull shimmered and adjusted its course slightly, aligning directly toward the Imperial formation. Sir Raul said, his voice tight. We're reading a power surge, core energy output rising exponentially. How big? Comparable to a all stopped, eyes wide, to a star's corona. Deploy interceptors, Taran ordered. Let's see how invincible this phantom ship really is. The interceptors launched. Hundreds of sleek fighters streaked through space toward the dark shape moving through the stars. For a moment, they thought they could see it clearly, a long, dagger-shaped vessel, its hull black and gold, light rippling along its surface like liquid metal. Then it vanished, not cloaked, gone. Seconds later, the interceptors' signals blinked out, one by one, without explosions or screams. Just silence. A low hum filled the Eidolon's senses. Then the object reappeared, closer, vast, impossible. It wasn't a ship, it was a Leviathan, kilometers long, shaped like a blade plunged through the heavens. Its surface was covered in ancient sigils of Earth, and across its spine burned the white insignia, HSS Leviathan. Holy stars, someone whispered. It's human. Taran's throat tightened. All ships arm weapons. Now, sir. Communications. The bridge lights flickered. The hollow went dark. And then, a voice filled every ship, every speaker, every frequency. A voice unmistakably human. This is Captain Arik Solas of the Leviathan. You invaded our world, enslaved our kind, and buried us beneath your empire. Humanity has not forgotten. Humanity has not forgiven. The message ended, and the war began. The Eidolon fired first. A barrage of plasma lances and rail slugs streaked through the void. Each shot could have leveled a continent. They struck the Leviathan's hull, and dispersed like mist. What? How? Raul stammered. Redirect all power. Taran barked. Concentrate fire. Overload their shields. But the Leviathan's shields didn't exist. Its surface absorbed the attacks, the energy rippling harmlessly across its skin. And then the human warship responded. A single light flared from its prow, pure white, blinding. It wasn't a weapon. It was an announcement. When the light faded, 10 Imperial destroyers were simply gone. Not destroyed, not broken. Gone, erased, their space folded inward. The fleet began to fall apart. Retreat vectors collapsing. They're tearing the warp lanes. Admiral, we can't. The Leviathan's voice returned, calm, emotionless. We told you. You built your empire on the ashes of our home. Now, the ashes remember. And then, the great ship moved. It didn't glide. It shifted, ripping the void apart as it passed, sliding through gravity like it didn't exist. It cut through the Imperial line, its hull shearing through cruisers like paper. The Eidolon fired everything it had. Taran watched his proud fleet crumble into light and debris. He activated direct transmission. Human ship, what do you want from us? For a moment, there was only static. Then, we want what you took. Freedom, memory, truth. The comm went silent and the Leviathan disappeared into warp space. The news spread across the Empire within hours. Entire sectors fell into chaos. Propaganda ministers called it a hoax. Scientists swore no such ship could exist, but the evidence was undeniable warp echoes. Residual radiation, impossible gravitational signatures. The Leviathan was real. Worse, it wasn't alone. 2 months later, another frontier fleet vanished near the Sirius Divide. Then a shipyard on Velaran 3 found its reactors dismantled overnight. Every worker left unharmed but unconscious. Written across the station walls, in human script, were 3 words: "We are back." Admiral Terran survived the battle, one of only a handful rescued from the drifting wreckage of the I. When he awoke in an Imperial medical ward, the first thing he saw was a transmission flickering on his bedside display. A recording, grainy but unmistakable. The Leviathan, hovering over the ruins of the Imperial fleet, silent and majestic. And beneath it, written in ancient Terran letters, was the message that haunted him for the rest of his life. "You feared we'd build monsters. You were right. Far beyond Imperial space, the Leviathan rested in orbit above a dark, broken planet, the ruins of Earth. Captain Arik Solus stood on the cracked observation deck, his hand pressed against the window. The planet below was a scar of glass and ash. Commander Lyra Kane approached, her uniform pristine, her voice low. "We've confirmed it. Imperial forces are collapsing across 3 sectors. They're terrified." "They should be," Arik said softly. "They made this world what it is. Will we strike the core?" He looked at her, and for a moment his eyes softened. "No, not yet." "Then what do we do?" Arik turned back to the stars, watching them burn cold and distant. "We remind them what humanity was capable of, what they tried to erase. Fear will do more than fire ever could." Lyra hesitated. "And when fear fades," Arik smiled faintly, "then we'll finish what they started." The Leviathan began to hum, ancient engines awakening, light crawling along its hull like veins of molten gold. As it rose into the black, the voice of its ICOM female, unmistakably human, echoed through the bridge. "Destination." Arik closed his eyes. "Everywhere they think they're safe." The ship leaped into the void, leaving behind only a ghostly after a major trail of white light shaped like wings spreading across the stars. The galaxy watched, trembling. The Empire prayed it would never return, but deep down, they all knew humanity had built the one ship they feared most.